It was billed as the clash of the world's top two teams, and this one didn't disappoint. My name's Mark, let's talk rugby. Oh, what a game of rugby that was. Game is just over. I feel like I played 80 minutes of rugby watching that. Oh, it was so intense between them, especially that first 40 minutes. Two teams just at the top of their game and not giving an inch to each other and just back and forth. It was amazing. And, you know, if you haven't, you know, go watch the full game, not just the highlights. Highlights will not do a game like this justice. So, first off, we have a very rare occurrence. James Lowe with a clearance kick hits the spider cam, and we have to then go for a scrum restart. And the fact, you know, maybe it was kind of prophetic because we had something very rare as well, like a game of this quality. You know, they come along once in a blue moon, and this one really was like an amazing affair between these two. France are on top in the opening minutes. Ireland get pinged for not rolling away. Ramos opens the scoring from the tee, puts France ahead 3-0. Ireland then work their way upfield. They have a line out to go for them all. France soak it in amongst them really well. They disrupt, they push them back. Ireland work their way around through the phases, back up to the line. They're pounding away at that line. Porter gets over, but he gets held up. I think it was Bai and somebody else was underneath him. And Bai was immense for France today. Like the amount of times he got under people to prevent them scoring what you thought was going to be a try. Drop out to France there. Ireland then collect the dropout through Keenan. He pops it off to Doris. Doris with a very strong carry up the middle. That guy was like, his reputation just growing and growing. Like he just is getting better and better. You think like he's hit, you know, he's already shown the world what a great player he is. He comes again and shows you just, you know, no, I'm even better than that. Carries deep into the French half. Ireland set up at a ruck. Murray off the base to Porter. Keenan coming steaming between the two of them, picks a lovely line. Porter pops the ball to him. He goes through a massive hole in the defence. He's in behind. You can see the fullback and somebody else's, Ramos and somebody else are converging on him. He's got options left and right, but he backs himself. He gets over. He scores a try. Converted by Sexton. Ireland in the lead now, 7-3. The scrums, you know, we had a couple of scrums in the game, but didn't really play much, had much effect really on the result. Pretty even throughout. No real kind of, you know, penalties or anything to talk about there. France then, they're looking to exploit space out wide to, you know, get on the edge of the Ireland defence. Hansen with a great read, shuts that down. France, so they come back at Ireland. Initially, some aggressive defence from Ireland is kind of holding them out, holding them back, kind of around just outside the 22. But Ireland can see the penalty. Ramos pops that one over. It's 7-6. We're a 1-point game. Ireland then, they're pushing France back and they're making life awkward for them. France are very rushed, but they're the kind of team like that, you know, they can be more composed in that situation than a lot of teams. And off that broken play, they actually strike. So Gelange, with a great run, gets up to about halfway. Really good carry from him, very strong. He finds Pinot with the offload. Pinot then, Murray and Hansen converge on him to try and bring him down. He holds off both of them, breaks free, and then he's in behind and he's away. He goes in under the post to score. Ramos adds on the extras. 13-7, France back in front. Ireland then, from the restart there, back on attack. We have good carries from McCluskey and Van der Fleer. The ball's moved out to the left. Ringrose with a great long pass finds Lowe out on the wing. He's still got a lot to do. Like he's in space, but there's a good run to the corner. Pinot comes over to tackle him. Lowe then with an acrobatic finish. It's one of these where he's kind of half out of the pitch. He's jumping in the air. He places the ball down with one hand. We have a team review to check. is his foot in touch and whether he grounded the ball properly. Crucially, the on-field decision from Wayne Barnes was try, so TMO couldn't find conclusive evidence to rule it out. If it had been try or no try, it might have gone the other way, but the question really mattered there. The conversion is missed from out wide. We're at 13-12, back to 1 point game again. France just edging it. At the restart then, Tadhg Beirne gets himself over the ball. He wins a penalty from Ireland. They kick that up the line. There's a line out just outside the French 22, but it's a poor line out from Ireland, and Flamand is able to claim it for France. Dupont then tries to basically step his way through the whole Irish team. He does well to evade Doris and a couple of others. Eventually, though, he gets brought down. Ball gets turned over. And Ireland come back at France. Antonio just bowls Herring with a thunderous tackle. Moments later then, Sexton goes through a gap. He tries to step Ramos, but Ramos doesn't buy it. He snags him. Play breaks down, and we come back for the penalty and a TMO review. On the review, you can see that Antonio's tackle on Herring was actually a high hit. He catches him in the head with his shoulder. Barnes says that, from a certain angle, that it looked like there was contact with the arms and the chest, and not just the head. To me, Antonio looked pretty upright in the tackle. I've seen red cards given for it, but Antonio gets a yellow for that one because the entry point has been brought down from red because of those mitigating factors. Herring is taken off for an HIA. He's replaced by Kelleher, and he doesn't come back on, I'm pretty sure. Ireland then elect to go for the scrum underneath the posts. McCloskey comes on the crash ball. He goes close. Murray goes again. He goes close as well. They're within meters of, not even meters, centimeters of getting over the line. Recycled, and then Porter drives over for Ireland's third try. Sexton pegs on the extras. 19-13, Ireland lead. It's been breathless stuff right from the start of this game. We didn't have a poor clearance from James Lowe. Dupont putting pressure on him allows France to have an easy into the Irish 22. But Ireland then break through Sexton, shows decent pace for a guy's 37, puts it inside to Doris. Doris rumbles on further, eventually gets brought down. They go through the phases, they have advantage, but then we have a neck roll clear out just after advantage is called over, and they can see the penalty. France are able to clear that one. Maybe Ireland let them off the hook a little bit there. Then further up the pitch, Ireland then not rolling away, you can see another penalty, and Ramos just inside the Irish half nails the kick. We're at 19-16. France coming back into it. France then, from the restart, are finding it hard to actually get out of their own half. So we have kind of a period of kick tennis. France are able to run out the rest of the yellow card and get back to 15 during that. They then go through the phases. Doris manages to strip the ball. He kicks it through. Then Pernod does well to collect. He evades the chasers. Hansen manages though to intercept Ntamak as France tried to work it out wide. Keenan breaks up the wing and he kicks through. The ball kind of goes loose. There's kind of a group of them there, and Hansen, it takes him a while to pick the ball up. It's not kind of a clean thing. And it looks like, though, lines at his mercy, he's going to score. Dupont comes behind him. And that guy, geez, he's so so strong. He basically, like, from the floor, wraps around his waist, and you can see Hansen try to struggle out of his grip, and the try line is right there for him to score. Like, he just needs to be able to get out of his grip and flop down, and it's a try. But Dupont manages to pull him back, prevent him from offloading, and then they get him into touch. Superhuman effort from that guy. You can see why, like, he is considered such an amazing athlete. And, like, really saved Francis Bacon there. And it's not the only time that he did it during the game as well. He was immense in defence for them. Ireland then, they start applying more pressure to France. But again, France are holding him out. Bai manages to get himself under Murray to prevent them grounding for a try. We come back for a 5-metre scrum to Ireland because we were playing advantage. France get free kicked at the scrum. Ireland decide to take the tap. And again, Ireland, they're pounding away at that line. The French defence is so immense, trying to hold them out. Murray knocks on as he goes for the line. And again, it's Dupont is in there, Bai is in there. They manage to force the knock on, but we come back for a penalty. Sexton decides to take the points because they're finding it hard to actually get over the try line, like just forced their way over. So he pops it over. 22-16. That was our halftime score then. Like, as I said, immense defence from France to keep themselves in the game. Against any other team, Ireland could have had, like, you know, another 2 or 3 tries in that first half and have the kind of lead that they had against Wales. But France were just so good in defence there. Into the second half then, Ireland, they started on attack again. We have some great carries from from the likes of Doris. Sublime offload from him, finds Lowe out on the wing, gets him into the 22. France managed to turn the ball over through Olivon, and then they make a break themselves through Dumortier. He almost gets away. Like, the guy is around about halfway. There's 3 or 4 Irish, like, would-be tacklers coming at him. He's fending them off, and you think, like, he's gonna wriggle out and he's gonna actually get away, kind of Pernod style, to score. But finally, Irish managed to get him down, but they concede a penalty just after. At that stage, then Ireland lose Tyke Byrne to injury. Ina Henderson comes on to replace him. Ramos takes a penalty from just about halfway. It falls just short, maybe about a metre short, metre too short on that kick. Ireland then restart. France kick it back to them, and then they just flood into the breakdown and turn the ball over, and suddenly Ireland are in trouble. They spread out wide. Pernod almost gets through again, like another one where he's just slippery, he's strong. It's very hard for him to bring him down, but he gets snagged just short of the line. McCluskey then gets himself in over the ball. He wins a penalty, allows Ireland to clear. And, you know, that was a big part, big point in the game, really, for them, where they didn't want to let France kind of sneak back in front. Sexton is injured at this stage. Like, the advantage that we were playing earlier on was to do with a late hit from Pernod on him out on the wing, and he didn't seem to be able to run that off. So he's off. Ross Byrne comes on. France now, they're coming back on attack. They feel like, you know, there's a chance there for them to get another try and take that lead back. We have Flamand with a strong carry, then a lovely offload to Dupont, sets him up in a really good position. Ireland, though, they managed to clear, but again, they're really under the pump at this stage. France are feeling confident. You can see that they're growing there, but then Dumortier takes Murray out in the air under a high ball, gives a penalty away to Ireland, and Ireland are able to kick up the field and suddenly, you know, turn things around a little bit. At that stage, it was feeling like Ireland really need to steady the ship and add to their score, because France are so dangerous that, you know, with it so tight that they could easily get themselves in front. And then if Ireland have to go chasing the game, France picked them off and then increased their lead. Ireland go over the top from the line out, but Amani knocks on. And then we have kind of a little break. Aldrit is off. MacLeod comes on for him. We have then Ireland, you know, they're trying to put pressure on, but there's a great kick from Dupont. Finds some grass, moves the play back into the Irish half. We then have kind of another period of a kicking battle. You can see both teams are trying to almost force the other team into an error that could be the decider in the game. France, though, at this stage, are playing a lot of rugby in the Irish half, and you feel that, like, you know, one big defensive lapse for Ireland and the game could completely change. But the Irish defence is holding them out. They'd missed a lot of tackles in the game. You know, the 34 at one point. It probably got up near 40 by the end. But then Lowe comes up with a big kick. He clears to relieve pressure. We're back into the French half now. Craig Casey and Jack Conan come on for Murray and O'Mahony at this stage, and France change both of their props as well. Game's really on a knife edge at this point. Keenan then comes up with, you know, one of the moments of the game, kicks a 50-22, and suddenly Ireland are in a great position. We have more amazing French defence on their own line, keeping Ireland out. We come back for a penalty. Ross Byrne puts that over, stretches that lead out to 25-16 with 20 minutes to go. But you can still see France are still, you know, they're still there. They're still clinging on. France then go through the phases in the Irish half. Ramos cuts the deficit again, 25-19, back within a converted try with a lovely drop goal from him. Ramos, though, that's his last act of the game. He gets taken off. At that stage, the French defence then, they're putting a lot of pressure on Ireland, and Craig Casey does well to put just a little kick over the top into the 22. France, suddenly the pressure's on them. They got a defensive line out in a tough spot. Ireland managed to turn the ball over. Kelleher drives at the line, he gets over, but again, France hold them up, drop out to them. The amount of times they held Ireland up over the line just shows what great defence they have. Ireland, though, to come again. Tau Fanua is able to get over the ball, though. He wins the penalty for France. They come up the field. McCluskey is replaced by Bundyaki at this stage. Ireland come back again. We have great carries from Doris and O'Toole, who's on now. Pinot, though, like, shows some really cool head where Ireland kicked the ball over and it's bouncing, and it's one of those ones where it's heading right for the corner flag, kind of reminiscent to who's a Wasps, wasn't it? Scored a try in the Heineken Cup final where the fullback just let it bounce too much, and they dived on and scored a try. It was that kind of thing, but he held his nerve and you know, didn't give away the 5-minute scrum to Ireland. Instead, it's a dropout to France. So really cool head from him. Ireland, though, now they're pegging France back into their own half. We have some great kicking from Byrne that's helping with that. More changes. Kroos comes on for Olivon. Kilcoyne is on for Porter. Ireland, they're going through the phases. They're making meters. The likes of O'Toole, Kilcoyne, Doris, Van der Fleer, they're all making yards on the carries. James Ryan is there as well. He's really, you know, been immense in terms of just doing that hard graft and making those yards. France, they sniff a chance to turn over. Again, they flood into the into the breakdown. You think they are going to turn it over. They've got the numbers there, but Doris, does amazingly to pick at the base, and then he finds Ringrose out on the wing. Ringrose goes through about 3 French tacklers, shows great strength just to kind of fend them off, and goes around them out on the wing, comes arcing in then over the try line to score. Ross Byrne converts that one, and we're at 32-19, and suddenly there's daylight between the two teams, and with just over 5 minutes to go. Dupont and Pinot then, they combined to put France back on the front foot, but Bundyaki showed, with some great defence from him, Ireland are able to clear. Ireland win a penalty around halfway for France not rolling away. They go up the line with that penalty. France are able to halt the Irish maul. Ireland then go out to their backs, and they've got France pinned in their own 22 again. Dupont gets charged down, and it almost breaks for Ireland. It just kind of shows how dominant Ireland are at this stage of the game. Clock is in the red, and France, they come looking for a losing bonus point. They work their way upfield, but Dumortier knocks on, and that's the end of the game. And it was a great effort from both teams in that one. Like France's defense put them in position to potentially, get that win in the second half. They did have to make, around about 100 more tackles than Ireland, but Ireland took enough of their chances to stretch away. Like, they created so many chances, and as I said, France were holding up over the line, but they still took enough of them. They missed almost 40 tackles in the game. That will be a concern for them going forward, but it's 2 bonus point wins from 2 for them. And after that one, I feel like I need to lie down. But we've got another game to watch now. It's kicking off in a couple of minutes. So what did you think of this epic battle between these two?